In today's finale episode of Truly Bedrock Season 6, we complete our entire mega farming base and build everything I've wanted to for months. This is possibly the most advanced and redstone heavy base you've seen, with incredible base-wide lighting that can be turned on and off with every one of these tracers. All of these tracers are not only item collection for our farms around the base that take all of our items to central storage, but they're also the on-off switch for the farm, and they're a base-wide lighting system as well. There's also a world download for this base. Watch until the end to learn how to get it. We have dozens of hours of work to do in today's video, from building 3 new farms, installing all the tracers, tons of redstone, and more, so let's hop into it. Okay, now it is time to finally decide the tracers for the base. So we've had the core of the base built up for ages and ages and ages. Each one of these little lines of lamps and glass going out is going to connect to a farm somewhere, and they're all going to be color-coded. So the bee farm, yellow, is going to be connecting to this one. And then we've kind of mapped out what is going to be going into the rest of these streams. I won't bore you with too many of the details, but we got like the kelp farm, the pickle farm, basically everything that we have built up in the base to this point is going to be getting connected to the very core of the base. So all the infrastructure that we built, all the logistics that we've done in the entire season, in this entire base, is coming to a head right now. So what we need to decide is how exactly these tracers are going to be branching out, how they're going to be reaching out with their little tendrily fingers and, you know, connecting to every single farm. So we're back in the creative designing world, and I've spent a few hours going through a different couple iterations of this build over here. However, I'm realizing that, like, we don't even have all of the farms in place. We need to build up some moss farms, some kelp farms, and a pickle farm. So we should probably do that before installing, like, all the tracers, right? Because these need an endpoint to actually go somewhere. So one of the last farms to go in the base is going to be the dual moss farm. So we're going to have a moss farm right here, kind of next to the... what's that one? Sugarcane farm, and then the iron farm. This is going to be the teeny tiny moss farm that I did a tutorial on a while back because it is small, and it is simple, and it's not overpowered. Unfortunately, you can't stack this one, though, so I would like to make another design for that at some point in the future. So this was actually a really easy farm to build, even though I might have messed it up like 4 or 5 times, but it's just running, it just works, and there's not much really to say about it. Besides, that's a teeny tiny little moss farm. Oh, I don't actually have regular moss, so we're just using pale moss here. They're exactly the same, though. They're like literally just copy-pasted in the code and then desaturated, and that's literally all there is to it. It turns out you can just drop all the items out of the front of this thing straight down into a water stream, and now I need to figure out what to do with, all of this. Okay, so that's just moss farm number 1. Moss farm number 2 is going to be going under here, underneath the holy cactus, and I think that the moss farm is just short enough that it will actually be perfectly fine. So hopefully we can keep the holy cactus and, his pokiness. Okay, so moss farm number 2 is installed. We actually got some real moss on this one. Turns out these produce more bone meal because you get the azalea bushes from these, whereas you don't with the pale ones. Now, I'm worried about our holy cactus because it's like right here on the limits of the farm. So we put down ourselves a button to stop the too tall grass from generating underneath it. So hopefully this is just like totally fine. As long as it doesn't get touched or updated or anything like that, then it should exist. It's like... it's got a pixel of room right there. It's fine. I still don't know how we made that floating cactus, but it's here to stay now. Okay, we got ourselves a creative copy of the world, mostly just because I'm curious to see what happens. So if we have a too tall grass grow underneath this guy, is that gonna pop it off? Oh no, it ruins it! Oh my guy! R.I.P. Yeah, so pretty much any block update is going to kill that cactus. So one of the last farms that we need to build in the base is kelp farms, which is going to be going right here. It's actually basically the exact same design as the bamboo and sugarcane farms. It's like going to be basically identical. And all we're going to do to change this up is put some water in there. So this is the basic layout of the farm, of course. Now, we do need to fill in this entire thing with water because the kelp gotta have themselves some water. Now, we also need water sources above them. I previously thought that they would grow up into flowing water, but they only do that if you bone meal them, actually, which is kind of silly. So, we need to have all of these pistons be waterlogged, and the stair on the very end be waterlogged. That way, the water sources actually reflow in here. Oh, we also need blocks behind all these pistons, which I almost completely did not realize. So that was almost a flooding waiting to happen. Oh yeah, all these carpets would have been gone, dead. decimated, destroyed. Yeah, so we put a water source in there, and boom, now we have a water source. And then we can just kind of place these ones up, actually, and we'll make ourselves an infinite water source going all the way along. Yeah, so I might have forgotten to put in some of that glass. Dang it! I just talked about this, and how it would be a horrible, devastating travesty to do it. And then I instantly do it. So that is the top 3 layers of this farm done. It really is just like the same little row of pistons, and then a redstone line above it, and then you just stack that up, and then we stack it up in the middle. We had to do some silly solutions for the redstone right here to keep things nice and symmetrical. So yeah, if we like press a button on here, then that's going to go ahead and activate all of those layers twice, because on redstone pulses it, off redstone pulses it, and then that also activates over here as well. Now this farm does appear to be basically lossless, and basically all the kelp's gonna go straight down to the very bottom, and we just have to install a bunch more layers. Yay. So, the kelp farm is basically built up now. This has taken like 3 hours because it's actually kind of intensive. Anyway, we have 8 layers of this thing installed now. So as you can see, if we go down here, we just got ourselves a whole bunch of kelp. I do think that the kelp farm is working. This seems like a lot of kelp. There it goes. Okay, so much kelp. This thing's actually going to be harvesting quite a bit every single time. I mean, wow, look at that. It's still going. Now that all of our farms are built, we can actually build up the tracers as well. So these are the beginning of the tracers that we built up a long time ago. So we've gathered the materials that we should need to actually build all this up. We have lamps for days. We have this junk. We have all the glass and all the extra glass and concrete that we should ever need. And I think we're going to start with the middle. Ta-da! We have our tracers installed. Well, some of them dug out anyway. You can't really see it from down here. So we gotta hop up to the top of the base, and now you can see it a little bit better. So it turns out that we have one too many tracers in this layout right here, so we actually need to move them around and kind of change the layout a little bit. Oh, no, it doesn't line up with the door, the iron farm, with the door. Not with the door, no, the door. No, and then that's a 3-block gap, and then we gotta push this one out, and then it's, oh god, oh no, it's cascading problems, everybody! Oh god, oh no, it's done, we're cooked, it's over. Burn down the base, it's Jover, everybody, oh god, oh no, and then it's a 2, and then a 1, and then, bruh, we just cooked the whole base. Yep, it's throw it away. Mild existential crisis later, we do have a new layout with no wasted tracers, no extra ones, and we just had to slightly shift every single tracer in the base by a block, but luckily you didn't have to watch through all that. Okay, this is our new beautiful layout that we got. Everything works just properly, just fantastically. This right here is for decoration, and it's really going to be the death of me trying to wire up those lamps. This one is for decoration, and then we got to add in a little bitty little spiral guy over there, little squiggly line over there, and one right there just fill in the space. But otherwise, it's looking pretty good. Oh wait, we got to do that on this side of the base as well. And don't you worry about a thing, because oh my, do we have a massive water streams over there from the pumpkin farm and the dual output of the bee farm. Don't even get me started on this 2-way street water stream that I was so proud of last time. Okay, somebody explain this to me. How in the what? How in the what and the where and the why? How did the wool and the wheat and the leads and the what? You can just spawn in there? I got myself a wandering trader farm, boys. Nowhere is safe from the wandering traders. I've never seen the leads go like up and over like that though. That's crazy. So after a couple hours, we actually have it all done. And you know what? It's looking pretty sweet. I think it's not too bad actually. Look at this, guys. It's not even done yet. Of course, we have like another 8 hours of building that we gotta do. Let's go. Yeah, check out this, my guys. So now that we have them all in place, we just need to actually build them up and decorate them, because this is just the layout for where they're going, like the actual difficult braining process of counting everything and making sure it's all lined up and it's all accurate and none of it's off by a block, and you know, redesigning it, of course. So now we need to actually go through this entire deal, mine out these layers, because this layer is going to be water, this layer is going to be lamps and ice, this layer is going to be target blocks, and then we're going to have some redstone to either side of it. So we kind of need to do quite a bit of mining in all of these trenches. So we have all the lamps for the very middle row installed now. It doesn't look like much, although it's okay. It's looking good. Now, we've actually used repeaters on all of these, so these are all supposed to be on 2 ticks each. If we turn this off and turn that off, and then fly up into the air, maybe we'll see it happen? Yeah, you can see it slowly turn off. So I think you can see where we're going with this. So after 1 hour of building, we have some of these put in. Okay, there's actually quite a few of them, and then a bunch more we still need to power, and we still need to mine out a bunch of trenches as well. So things are coming along. It's just going to take a minute. Well, many dozens of minutes, actually. So half of the base has all of the redstone lamps installed. Now, some of them aren't turned on because I don't know exactly how I want to do those yet. We got our little squiggly guy right there, and then like our little extra filler bits. We might turn on these ones right here with the gold farm. That could be fun. Looking pretty good over there. So now we need to build all of that again on this side over here. Yay! So many lamps about to get placed in. 6.5 hours of building has taken us to this point right here. We have essentially everything installed, like all the lamps and all the redstone lines. We need to power up some of these little miscellaneous bits and bobs here. And then the fun part begins, because not only do we need to tie these redstone lines into the actual builds and send it into the actual farm, that way it turns off the build when the light is off. We also need to tie it into the base back here, which is where it's going to get incredibly messy. However, we do have this control panel right here from ages ago that is color-coded. So each one of these is going to control a various tracer in the base. And why, yes, that is going to look incredibly messy on the backside, but that's why you shouldn't look back here. Simple solution to that problem, because it is gonna be spaghetti. Okay, not many progress updates happening right now because it's all just a bunch of boring redstone lines, but this one in particular is extra janky. So it starts off as kind of a regular line, and then it has to switch across because of the gold farm and the wool farm over here, and then guess what? It switches across again, boom, and then it switches across again, and then we got this entire giant loop right here, and all of that redstone is just to power these lamps and make it so we can turn them off from the core of the base. It's really quite something. This right here is why I want the glowing water. Look how nice those tracers look with not but glowing water. So all of the redstone for all of these tracers is done now, connecting them out to the outer builds and outer farms. However, now we have the really painful process of actually connecting them to the inner part of the core. So we kind of just started in like the middle, so like the on switch is just like right there, which is great for turning on all of those lamps. But if you want to actually connect those to the middle, they're supposed to go all the way up to like this line. Yeah, good luck with that. You see how many lamps we got in here? You see how close together all these are? You see how much crazy nonsense redstone there is down here? Well, no, you don't, because I currently am not showing it to you. But, yeah, it's not really the greatest area. So that's what we're going to work on. So everything within this core 16 by 16 middle chunk of the base, from like this line right here to this line, big ol' square, all of that is lever power. So none of these are like toggleable. They're just always going to be on. It's fine. But once you get outside of here, most of this should be toggleable to an extent. Some of these things are going to cross power, as you can see. There's just not much you can do for like all of it. So we're going to try and make as much of it toggleable as possible. And of course, there's all tightly weaved in here of water streams. So if you break one wrong block, everything gets ruined. Or you fall down your base because you forget that there's a hole right there. So everything is going great, guys. I haven't torn up any of the base at all. Everything is fine. Yeah, so we've basically nuked this site from orbit, and it's turned out incredibly well so far, and we've come up with a number of ingenious, janky solutions like this one right here. So this is the item output for our trash can. You know, that really fancy trash can we wanted? Yeah, it's coming back to bite us. So the water stream is going to push your items over, and then they're going to have to fall straight down past like 4 other water streams, past that one, that one, that one, and that one. And we're just going to do that by placing in the glass with fences going all the way down. This is the kind of solutions we're cooking with here, guys. Literally 3 hours of tearing apart the entire base just to hook up all those redstone lines. But we just tested it. Every single one of them does actually work how it should. Not only do all of these actually turn on and activate all the lamps, so there's no cross-powering between any one of our 20 different streams that we have, and they all actually go ahead and turn on the farms that they should too. So each one of these things does actually turn on. It was quite a surprise to find out the flower farm got turned on because the frame rate went down to 0. So now we put in several different bits of wool all around the place. We're going to hook these up to some sort of torch tower and redstone line from the main control board of the entire base, because this will allow us to turn on absolutely everything from this one control panel right here, which is going to be crazy. So that'll work out for us. And then we are also going to hook up all these, rebuild all these, and get water in them. That way they actually deliver the items from all the farms to the main storage. So now that all of the trenches are dug out and the lamps and wires are connected, we need to fill in absolutely everything with water. Oh wait, we sort of did. It's not too bad of a process. It's gonna look nicer once we get the glass on top of this thing. But basically we're just making all these go, and then every time that the water needs to repeat, we put in ourselves a piece of packed ice. And that should lead all the items straight to the middle of the base. So all of the water streams are now fully installed around the entire base right now. It's actually looking pretty cool with the blue. We're going to add in all of the glass on top of each one of these, color code absolutely every single one of these lines. And that's when we're really going to start cooking with the base, guys. Of course, we also need to convert all this concrete powder that we have down here. And I'm so excited for this. Oh man, it's really coming along. So this is the final look at the place at nighttime before we actually put in all of the glass lines and turn this thing on. So we filled in a majority of the... Jeez. We filled in a majority of the glass, and I think it's going to start looking pretty good. I haven't actually seen it yet. Let's go up to the top of the base. And there is the reveal. None of them are lit up yet, so they're not all glowy. We don't have the ray tracing on, but man... Oh, man. That's great. So we got to fill in that one and, you know, all the other 8 of those. Not sure what color I want to do for those. Maybe just white would be best. Maybe to give them a little bit of contrast. So now all of the glass, well, not all of it, but most of the glass is in place. And it is finally time to turn on some ray tracing and see what this base actually looks like with the lovely tracers. Get it? Ray tracing? Tracers? It's been a pun this entire time. Why is it like what? It just kicked me out of the game. I'm not allowed to look at my base. Come on now. So it looks like it's actually working. Now, obviously, none of our tracers are on, but man, okay, I'm so excited for this. It is nighttime. Okay, let me go find my 20 levers that I have hidden around the base somewhere to turn on these tracers. This is gonna be something, guys. Okay, I don't know if I turned them all on or not. I kind of lost some of the levers, to be completely real with you. However, here we go. I definitely lost at least 3 or 4 of those levers. Let's go! It's looking so good. Every single farm in the base is running right now. Please don't pay attention to that. But yeah, we're missing like 4 of these redstone lines. I need to go find a bunch more levers in my base. Also, the gold farms aren't even on right now. Oh my god, this is great. Yo, this looks so good. I'm so happy about... Oh my god, it's looking great. Yeah, we're missing a few of these. Don't worry about it, but like, the techno base is coming along. Techno futuristic. Now, there is one slight problem with the entire base running. All of our item streams are actually working. There's no problems there. However, we have not set up the item filters for like anything in the base, so it's just like... it's just a big old pile of stuff over here. And it's all going into my multi-item storage system right now. My multi-item storage system is getting overflown with all the junk from the base. We should probably turn all this stuff off. Yeah, we need to set up all the item filters. We probably should have done that. The endpoint of the entire storage system is our multi-item storage system, and that means that this entire chest just got filled up with moss and melons. There's all this extra stuff in the input chest. No wonder it's still coming through the system. Jeez! Now it's time to see what the base actually looks like on the map. So this is from a couple of months ago before we installed any of the farms or the tracers, and right after we had just filled in all the carpet on the outside edges. And now we have a new map. Okay, now time for the grand reveal. Yo, check that out. Nice. I'm actually so happy with that. You know what? I immediately noticed an issue with the base. Can you spot it? Can you spot the inconsistency? Can you spot the problem? It's these little bits right here. They're not on the bottom. Jeez, we're not even done yet. So we're about ready to actually power up all of those redstone lines. We have our control board out the back over here, and it's all color-coded. We have all of our color-coded lines all the way around the area. We've mined out the zone, and now we're gonna try and do something clever for once with the redstone lines. Before this gets too much of a spaghetti nonsense monster. Yeah, so an hour in, and we have this kind of mess going on right here. Don't worry, everything is under control, everybody. We actually have some of these things figured out, basically all the easy ones, but it's already getting pretty nonsensical in some of these places. Yeah, so we started running our redstone lines above the water streams and underneath the other tracers just to get them where we needed to go. So this is basically what our redstone shenanigans look like. It is just absolute spaghetti. When someone says spaghetti redstone, this is what you should imagine. We have a total of 12 redstone lines going across here. There's 2 cyan, 2 light blue, 2 blue, 2 purple, 2 magenta, 2 pink, and then, you know, the orange ones and the yellow ones, those don't count. So we're going to try and do one clever thing in this base, and that is run all 12 of these lines parallel at the same layer. So right now, obviously, these ones are a little bit staggered up and down, and then these top ones are connected and canoodling. We can't be having that, so we're going to be cutting these just with some solid blocks, just like so, to keep these all independently powered. We have to turn these around the corner, and then we're going to try and do our flat panel of redstone dust. And hopefully that's all good. That looks crazy. It's horrible, but it's organized because it's color-coded. Color-coding things makes the chaos seem organized. Pro-life tip right there, guys. Write that one down in your color-coded binder. So this is where the fun begins. We have actually done a clever. I managed to get all of our lower, redstone lines going in. None of them are cross-powering, which is honestly just a miracle at this point. But every single one of these is going to be powering a repeater right here. So they're going to be hard powering this block. And you might think, oh, you can't just run redstone lines right next to each other. Well, actually, I can happily say that our clever thing has finally worked out. So you look at this. Look at this redstone right here. This is great. So can you figure out what's happening? We're powering each one of these hard power with a repeater. So each one of these is signal strength of 15, and then they all decay at the same rate, and each one of these is signal strength of 1. So if we break out one of these repeaters, the one directly in front of it will turn off. As you can see there, that turns off the entire line. Same goes for any of these that we break out, which is pretty cool. And then if we decide to power this thing, it's going to power all this redstone at the beginning, but only the one directly lined up with it is actually going to get signal strength 15 and continue that down the line. It's probably not the most lag efficient way of doing it. Maybe these should be on slabs, but you know what? Hit me up when we have rainbow slabs. We don't, so whatever. So this is essentially how we're doing it. Once we got this redstone all around the corner, this was actually so much easier to do. All this core spaghetti that we have, this was a nightmare. But we've actually gotten everything around the corner. Half of this is done, and then we just have to take the other half of it to the far side of the base. So it's been 6 hours of literally just doing redstone lines. You think I'm kidding? No. Yeah, it's legitimately 6 hours. So this nonsense that you've seen right here, that's pretty standard, pretty normal. You should be expecting that. We got this nonsense over here, of course, all of these lines. You've already seen the fact that we have this lower band, but now we added in the upper band, and it turns out that we have absolutely every single one of our farms properly tied in. So like there's the gold farms. We're going to install the master switch in a second to turn off absolutely everything in the entire base. We'd added in 2 more bands over here, if I can show it to you. So we have the lower band, we have an upper band. I don't know why I'm calling them bands, but I needed a name for them, and that's just what I went with. And we also need to install the master switch. So a singular place that we can activate from the AFK spot up above, probably with some target blocks. That way, as you're standing up here, you can shoot an arrow somewhere. I'm not sure where it's going to go, but then every single one of these tracers would turn on, hopefully in sync, and you could see the entire base light up, every single farm activate, probably kill the server from lag, and it's gonna be good. So this is what the base looks like at nighttime. We're in spectator mode right now, and let's take a nice look at some of these tracers turning on. So if we turn on red, you can see that entire right side should turn on right there. There it goes. Oh, that's pretty cool. And then we can also turn on half of blue as well. That turns on the outer rings of the base as well. Looking pretty cool there, my guys. We also have that light blue line and this one. And I'm just going to start randomly flicking levers in the base. And we can see this turn on. Yo, here we go. Things are happening. I shouldn't turn on the gold farms, but I'm going to anyway. Let's go. Look at that. The entire base is fully lit up, looking fantastic. And now we can just go ahead and start churning things off. So the master switch is going to do all of this at one time. But yeah, look at that. That's beautiful right there. So after all these years and centuries, we can finally turn on the entire base, see what absolutely everything looks like with ray tracing on, 90 FOV, just to see the whole base, because it doesn't even fit in view. And then as long as I can hit that little pile of target blocks down there, then we should be able to see the entire base turn on. There we go. We have the entire base turning on now. And it turned off again. I hit it twice. Oh my god. Okay, hold up. Jeez. There we go. The entire base is turning on. Oh my god. And then we're going to see the outer edges of the base light up as well. This is what we have waited for. After all these years, after all the hours and days of building, it has come down to this, the entire base looking very alive. Very nice. Let's go down, fly around, check it out a little bit, shall we? Now, the gold farms are running, and, you know, that's a little bit laggy, but it's fine. So the frame rate may not be the best just because of the gold farms. Those things are quite big, but I absolutely love all of these tracers. This is exactly what I was hoping it would look like the entire time that we've been building these things. Now, they could be even more neon if we were using like a different pack where like glass was glowing or emitting its own light or something, but I mean, this is pretty good. And now if we go down the middle of the base, we're also going to see all of these different items come in as well. So we got items going through the tops, we got items going down the middle, just tons of stuff going through the storage system. Basically, every single farm is running. So, of course, we got tons of items going up the sides. Those are going to be going to the compost towers. We got auto-crafted items coming up over here as well. Our trash can would also be going. And then, of course, our, like, bulk item distribution system as well. And if we hop back into, like, the depths of the bowels of the base, as you see, we just got, like, tons of items looping around the system, things going to and fro, items getting smelted and auto-crafted. Oh, geez, look at this. There's, like, 4 different lanes right here. And then down at the bottom of the base, we also have our gold farm smeltery going. You can also see the nuggets coming up. The rotten flesh would also be going up over here and getting burned and going down the middle. Our multi-item storage system is also going because it's probably picking up some miscellaneous items. And then, of course, we have our final storage hall of the base where all of our wool goes in as well. All the dyes from everything. There is so much stuff. So many alive parts of the base. So many items flying everywhere. So here's what the base actually looks like during the daytime as well. We have everything turned on except the gold farms. And you know what? It still looks pretty good. Even with the annoying sun in here lighting up the area for us. And with that, our months-long saga of building this base has come to an end. If we had some more time, we would probably tweak and change a few little bits and bobs here and there. But overall, I'm very happy with how the tracers have come out, how alive the base feels, and of course, how many items we can actually see. Every single item from all of the farms are visible in the water streams, and the core of the base, there goes some right now, and of course, all down up in the storage systems and things. Overall, pretty fun. I wish we had a little bit of time to actually, like, use the base before the season ends, but truly Bedrock Season 7 is right around the corner, and of course, there's also going to be a download for this world on the Truly Bedrock website, so you can come on here, mess around with the base, and check it out yourself. And otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching this season of Truly Bedrock. I hope that you have enjoyed or learned something or had a laugh, and I'll catch you guys in Season 7. And then there was silence.